down in this position. The pull's really important. So when I'm here and I'm driving that in, as soon as this is brought down, because this is really the only way he can kind of relieve that pressure across his chin. So if he's trying to push up and stuff, it's really easy for me to keep that pressure across his chin. So what he needs to do is to pull down, and this is his position to then trap and roll and stuff. If I've decided I'm going to take it back, sometimes I adjust my grip a little bit, so I'm just going to bring my grip a little higher. So this gives me a better pull as well. So when I start kind of moving him across, it just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so as I pull, yeah, and I move my knees, like I said before, I need to clear this space a little bit to then come across. Okay, now, once I'm in this position, we've got a couple of options, but he's also got the opportunity to start pushing that leg down. So if he pushes that leg down, that's okay. I'm fine with that, okay? So we're gonna look at that scenario. So he's gone into like a quarter guard in this position straight away. All right, so from this position, I'm gonna pull him up to the other side. Then I'm in my back control position. If we just do hit that list. Okay, so reacting to his defense. Because the leg's going to be a little lighter, so it's going to be a lot easier for him to push that leg down and then start looking at getting into like a quarter guard position. So hand goes in, I'm still going for my choke up until I get to this point. Now I decide I'm taking the back, so I'm just going to relieve the grip a little bit. I can still put pressure across the throat to make him think about that if I need to. Okay, posting, pulling, and moving my legs across to here. Okay, he then pushes that leg down. So I'm going to lift him up, yeah, and I'm going to pull him across my body. Now as soon as I start pulling across the body, this leg is going to hook this leg. Okay, so here, then into my back control. Does that make sense?
Can I see it on somebody else?
Yeah, sure.
As opposed to seeing it on myself, which would be impossible to better.
Yeah, some of it bigger.
What do you mean? I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's having Greg's twice a day.
We don't know if that's true or not. It was better than like Greg's. So into here, face pressure, pulls down. Yeah. Again, I like to just come up a little bit with the collar grip. So as soon as I start pulling, move that knee across as well. He goes into quarter guard. Yeah, from this position I'm going to pull up, and that knee is really important. So you see that knee, yeah, getting that knee as deep in as possible really helps you take the back a lot better. The next part is this foot, okay? This foot's going to drag this leg. So it's not only the pull, but it's this foot dragging the leg so that this knee goes down to the mat. That's really important. Into your back control position like that. What are your preferences there? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Give it a go. One, two, three. Things. So don't neglect that kind of heel drag, you know, when you get in there, because that really does help kind of get the position. But one of the important things about taking people's back is the percentage of chest to back ratio. Okay? So if I just, if you face the other way, so once we finish the roll and done all the clever stuff, yeah, I want to be like this. So this for me is like 100%. Okay, so I'm in a 100% back control right now. If we end up, and especially we sometimes do in this kind of position, where we end up where maybe I'm 50%, so I've got 50% of my chest up there back, this is where he's got more opportunities and stuff. So as you're doing the roll, yeah, and driving the foot down, you need to get used to just moving your butt out just a touch. Yeah, so now I'm in a 100% chest to back connection. Okay, so that's something really important to kind of think about. Because if we end up in this position and I'm like this, where it's 50%, yeah, chest to back, you know, ratio, then I've got problems. This is where I'm still continuing my movement. If I just start attacking from this position, this shoulder's free, there's nothing covering this back, so it's always going to be more difficult to finish the submission. So when I get to here, the roll's not done, yeah, I get into this position. One of the other things that we can do from here as well is keep his knee nice and high, you know, close to his chest, so if you can't get that nice clean hook, so you can always go to like a half guard position, but it's obviously just the other way around. This is still going to give you good control, so I can suck that hip in and start moving his hip and having that kind of control in this position as well. So they're just a couple of things to have a little think about as you do the roll and stuff. So we'll do some rolling, and in the last 5 minutes we're going to do the same again. Okay, so that's obviously kind of more reactive if the guy puts your foot in between leg. And it's also worth thinking about that when we're in mount here, and he may go into that quarter guard position, so he pushes that knee, we can start thinking about using this now as an attack. So if he's got a really good quarter guard, we can start using this as an attack and a setup to go into that kind of rolling back position, okay? So, things are going a bit better for us though. So he's still motivated to bring this down, yet we're still walking this across, and he's not trapped my foot. Yeah, so two things have happened here. He's not thought about pushing the knee down, or I've anchored the heel and I've got kind of more of a floating knee. Okay, so when I anchor the heel and I have more of a floating knee, he can push that knee away. Yeah, because it's the heel that's keeping me attached in this position. Okay, so this is a little bit more proactive. So now I'm going to start pulling and sliding the knee around the back. So it's a lot harder for him to go back into the same position. Okay, so obviously we can go for these kind of chokes, but I've never hit one of those chokes from this position ever. So I'm not even going to bother teaching you it. Okay, we're going to do the arm bar. What I might do is I might get Matty to show the bow and arrow, because he's been using this a lot. So next Tuesday I'll get Matty to do his bow and arrow stuff. So I just want us to practice arm barring. Now, if all my weight's back in this position, as soon as I start kind of releasing to get this leg into the gaps. Okay, so the slight adjustment I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to throw my weight forward. Yeah, and then slide this leg up a little bit higher. So you see how the knee's already past the head? So I'm already in a pretty good position that when I do switch to the arm bar, it's going to be so much easier to then just fall back and get that leg over into that position. So there's no rocket science, it's just, before you go for the arm bar, push your weight forward and get that knee above the head, okay? So here, yeah, I've anchored, floating knee. This knee goes behind the head first of all. I'm going to push my weight forward and drag my hip through until I feel that elbow pop through, okay?
Is that why you're doing that?
Yeah.
So because if I'm tight,
If you're, go tight.
because now I'm thinking arm bar, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, so you're going to want to, yeah, so once you're
staying
here,
tight,
yeah, so keep that tight and try and defend the arms.
Yeah, you feel it.
And then it slides through,
Yeah.
okay? So I'm waiting for that elbow to slip out of my armpit. I'm using that thrusting motion on young Stevie, yeah, to then start looking at finishing my armbar position. That's the only addition. I know you all know how to armbar from mount. Just focus on that bit and then do your armbar. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
You took your elbow into in there. So that. It just does that. I feel like it's not right, just slipping down. Because I'm not going to stay out here.